Would I ever go back to having an in-the-office job?
I think you're overthinking it.
I think you're underthinking it.
Greetings, good day, and welcome. My name is Deanna, project manager and grants consultant, and today we're going to talk about how I really feel about being a remote project manager. A few weeks ago, I shared a video capturing a day in my life as a project manager, grants consultant, and a content creator. As a response, one of my subscribers asked, do you like working from home better as a project manager or going in the office? Right now, I'm in the office as a project manager, but don't like the culture. I believe being remote will be better for my mental and just my overall health and career. Now let's start on a positive note and talk about the pros of being a fully remote project manager. First and foremost is the flexibility and freedom that comes with working remotely as a project manager and honestly in any job.
Well, I think you need to be more flexible.
When I say flexibility and freedom, I mean that I am able to literally go about my work day however I need it to go. For example, my Mondays are very busy. I have a lot of team meetings, like one-on-one meetings, catch-ups and things, and just getting prepared for the rest of the week, sending out emails, all that fun stuff. So I arrange my sleep schedule a little bit differently. I get up earlier so I can still do my meditation, yoga, and Pilates in the morning, in addition to making sure I have breakfast, walk my dog, she got breakfast, all that shit.
I don't want to grow up on a Troy's Ruckus.
However, then my Tuesdays, things slow down a little bit, so I'm able to sleep in a little bit later. I am able to just slow down, and I have much more of my morning, and I say early afternoon, to just do what I need to do as a human being, but instead of just having to, work. I know, especially as a project manager, but I feel like amongst many roles, our days vary. Our Mondays won't even look like the next Monday, and so on and so forth, right? So with working remotely, I am able to flex and change to my days as I find appropriate with no issues, because I am in my own space versus having to physically be in the office. Typically, we do the standard 9 to 5, but maybe I want to start my day a little bit earlier, and I got a brain blast like Jimmy Neutron, and I'm ready to get active sooner. So I have the freedom to finish up my work sooner, so I don't have to technically keep working until 5 o'clock unless, I got other stuff to do. However, but because I'm remote, I can just clock out. I don't have to just keep working for the sake of working because I am physically in the office. If I'm done for the day, I'm done for the day.
Closing time right about
now, 8 o'clock. So long, suckers.
Secondly, I would say I'm able to more so focus on things that would boost my productivity instead of personally, I feel like wasting my time. And one of the main things that I feel like waste time is a morning commute. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not throwing no shade at anybody that gotta go into the office, and there are just some jobs that you cannot do from home. So shout out to the people that do gotta get up and go. However, I am grateful that I have a career that I can take with me anywhere. And when I say the limited commute boosts my productivity, I mean that it's just opening up my time frame so I'm able to dedicate other things during that time versus commuting. Because in the morning commute, I gotta get up. I'm getting dressed, so I'm putting on actual work clothes versus just a t-shirt and some leggings.
Nigga, I'm comfortable. Whole thing with chocolate drop is comfort, nigga.
It is hot outside.
It don't matter what it is outside, I'm inside, B.
Then afterwards, I'm attempting to make a breakfast. Usually, if I was commuting into work, I didn't even have time to eat. I'm rushing to take the train or the bus or whatever else. I gotta walk to wherever I had to get to. I'm waiting for the train. I'm on it. There's people squishing me and stuff and now I'm just frustrated because I am taking up this extra hour, sometimes even 2 hours for a lot of people because they're commuting out of state. I know people that go from Philly to New York and New York to Philly on a daily basis. However, instead of using those 1 to 2 hours to commute and just get to work, I'm using that to plan out schedules. I'm using that to put together my to-do list. I'm using that to organize any tasks that my boss and I have to get done, anything that I need with my clientele, etc., etc. So I'm better able to use that open time slot for much more productivity throughout my day. And then more importantly, it's so frustrating to finally get off work, but you're finally getting off work when everybody else is getting off work. And y'all all just trying to get home together. Oh my god, public transportation or just transportation between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. on the weekdays. Lord have mercy, I do not miss that shit. at all. Third, as a remote project manager, I am able to benefit off of the variation of people that I get to work with. If I was working in New York or just in Philly, I'm going to only engage with people in New York or Philly. However, with the current job that I have, like my boss is based in Houston. She is from Houston. Shout outs to Texas.
Wish I was in Texas, prettiest place in the world.
I have coworkers that are in Atlanta, some are in Maryland, some are in Virginia, some are out of the country. I know there's one employee, she goes to Colombia a few months each year to visit like her family or grandparents and such like, and I get to meet such a mix and blend of people and different cultures and backgrounds, and I get to learn so much from them just because they not all you New Yorkers. I mean, but New Yorkers are the most poppin', obviously.
I'm from the city of the terrorists. Yes, I'm from New York, New York.
So in addition to being able to meet such a mixed variety of people and learn about their backgrounds and cultures and such, I am also able to get a different perspectives on how to approach the work that we do and different insights of what direction we need to go, what other tools and resources and guides and such that we can use to better our work for ourselves, for our departments, for the company as a whole, for the people and the other organizations that we work with. So because we are kind of all over the place, we can have perspectives that are like all over the place, organized, but varied. Honestly, this next one, it should have been at least my second reasoning. Saying the first still being flexibility, yeah, that's still number one. This could have been number two, but it's cost saving. I'm saving money staying home, okay? Going into the office, I'm not just paying to get to the office, whether it's a train, a bus, a Uber, Amtrak, whatever the case may be. I am also spending money on lunch because I'm probably not always going to pack something and bring it with me. I know I've worked in places where they don't even have like a microwave or something or a refrigerator. So if I bring lunch with me, it's not going to stay good until lunchtime.
That's $2 on fire.
And then if I'm not bringing lunch, I am spending $15+ to eat, and I probably want a snack. So what's that? Let's say I could easily spend getting to and from work. I need food, probably get a coffee or whatever. Maybe I'll bring a coffee from home. But nonetheless, I can spend easily $50 each day, like Monday to Friday, to just get to work and eat some food. And what's that? What's that math? That's $250 a week. $250 a week. And what's that? That's $1,000 a month. That's $1,000 a month that could have been in my pocket if I would have just stayed home. And I know this year I'm big on that there's food in the fridge, but if I'm not home, I can't take advantage of the food in my fridge.
Dad, can we stop at McDonald's?
You got some McDonald's money?
And I would say that a lot of the times, I mean, I do it at home too, but I more forget to eat while I'm in the office versus when I'm home. Like home, I'll be doing something and I'll stop. I'll be like, oh, let me go downstairs and grab something out the fridge, freezer, whatever the case may be. In the office, like sometimes you literally can't step away to go out, order food, wait in line for the food, and then come back and you only got like 10 minutes to eat. That's a dub. And if I'm saving, on commuting and eating out and stuff, I can treat myself to other things. As you guys have heard me say before, I love experimenting with my makeup and new palettes and foundations and primers and all these other things. So if I'm spending money instead of swiping to get on the train or something, I could go get me a new eyeshadow palette. And we love new things. Last pro, and I think this kind of sums up all my points, but it's allowed me to actually practice having a work-life balance, or I should say, and I know my boss says it, a life-work balance, because my life should come before my work. My work is a part of my life, but my life is not work. Similar to what my subscriber said, remote work has been so beneficial to like my mental health, my physical health, my emotional, spiritual health. Like I'm getting so much time back that I can use and dedicate to those realms of my life and not just focus on the professional part of my life. Like I need to be well taken care of and well-rounded wellness, I should say. So yes, I am managing multi-million-dollar grants and I am working on different projects and I am fulfilling fundraising needs and putting all this great stuff together for my job, but I'm also living life. I'm also enjoying time with friends and family, and I'm taking my dog on long walks because I finished up a project early, so we're able to take advantage of the night nice day and walk a little longer together. It's allowed me to really take ownership of my health and be able to have the time to practice it, because when I had to go into the office, by the time you get there and back, I'm not worried about barely eating a good meal. I'm not really worried about exercising. Like if I did it in the morning before work, that's I would have to get up at like 4:30 a.m., maybe 5, because I had to spend an hour commuting. But now I'm able to actually exercise, and if I don't exercise, that's just on me. I'm being lazy. I don't have to have there's no extra. It's just, I just have to focus on me and do what I need to do to keep my life in balance. And as I said time and time again, if I didn't have my yoga, if I didn't have my meditation, if I didn't have time with God and just like journaling and doing my devotionals, I would be struggling. I would be fighting for my life. There's so much that comes with just getting your time back with those simple things. And that all comes from literally just not having to go into the office. Now, we're gonna have to shift gears. And just like there's so much good that comes with remote work, there's also a bad side to it.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
So now let's shift our focus to the cons of being a fully remote project manager. First and foremost, one of the things that drives me crazy sometimes is the isolation and lack of inspiration. I live alone. I live with my dog, but she don't speak English. She, for the most part, understands what I'm saying, but it's not like she can respond to me.
He is a good and smart master, and he made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel!
Sometimes I need human contact, and not being in an office, I am just in the house Monday to Friday. Like I'll go out, with my friends and eat and such, but sometimes just being in the confines of my home, like sometimes it'll go on 72 hours that I didn't leave the house unless I walked my dog, and that could drive somebody real crazy.
The gang's all here.
And I also say lack of inspiration, because I know with especially my line of work, sometimes I just need to talk to people. Sometimes I just need to brain dump so I can brainstorm and come up with new ideas and tactics and metrics and just new shit. And sometimes when I'm just kind of in the house by myself, not talking to nobody but my dog, I just have to keep making up things on my own. And Zoom is nice, when you're able to have those meetings and have those like brainstorming sessions with your coworkers, but sometimes just being in person is way different. I don't know what it is. It's just, I guess you could physically feel the energy feeding off of someone when you are collaborating in person. So sometimes I do miss that. I do love Lady so much. She's a great coworker, but sometimes I need her to be able to pick up a pen and write. Secondly, and I had to catch myself with this, and sometimes I still struggle with it, but it's like the blurred line between work and home. Mentally, it was like I had to separate like where my work ends and where my personal life began. And because I am working in my home and my home is my office, it collided. So sometimes I was lacking in my personal life because I was just focused on working, and then sometimes I was slacking in work because I was focused on the personal, and it just mashed. And I would say physically, because one, my office space is in my bedroom, and I don't have the setup where I could move it downstairs in my living room to like make that disconnection. Like I feel like bedroom is usually like a sanctuary space, like you relax in here, you sleep, but in my bedroom I work. A lot of the times you guys will see that I will literally carry my desktop from upstairs to downstairs so I can have a new workspace and be in my living room. But it's mainly because I try to disconnect my bedroom from being my work office, and that'd be hard. And then the disconnect also happens when it's like I do like this and I'm looking like at my bed and I'm like, damn, you're so close and I could just go lay down. I could just go lay down right now, but I can't because I gotta stay in the office.
You want to take a nap?
I'm taking a nap here.
Okay, take a nap right there then. Good night.
So sometimes distinguishing between the two, it can take a toll. The problem that I face, and probably a lot of other people have faced, is digital dialogues. And what I mean by that is that sometimes people won't pick up on your sarcasm. Sometimes people don't see that you're being like funny, or that you have like a certain tone in like your email or message, because we are operating in a virtual world and everything is done through Zoom or through email. And sometimes things get, a little bit messy, and then you are left in this like what is it? Like a whirlpool of miscommunication. But though I would say I had this problem earlier, starting really in my remote work and like understanding how others communicated and how I can best communicate myself. Now I've gotten the hang of things. Now I know I don't know, you just know how to write. Like you learn how to write and connect with people. And in times in which you are not able to write it out, then you should talk it out. So I schedule calls, I'll schedule meetings. I'll even send I've sent my I sent my VP of finance. I sent him a voice note of a message that I wanted to relay, but it wasn't enough to say it in text message, like, you know what I mean? So I sent him a voice note. But instances where writing is not enough, I've been much more proactive to then going the next step and doing like some virtual, like face-to-face or voice interaction. Yo, again, I get to number 4 and I feel like this could have been 1. Again, this could have been 1, but I'm gonna say it definitely could have been 2. But it's when I have any tech glitches or any problems of actually doing work in my home, and the only tech support is me.
It's a red wire and a blue wire.
There'll be instances where my Wi-Fi will go out as I'm trying to get a deadline finished, or like my lights will just cut out. Like there was a storm one time and I lost power, so like if I don't got no power, how I'm gonna do work? And I was literally trying to do things from my phone, but I'm like, I don't want to do too much on my phone because then I'm gonna lose my phone battery, and then now what? But in the midst of all the Wi-Fi disconnections and applications just shutting down, I've been able to figure out a lot. Wi-Fi I don't have control over, so I just need her to not play me anymore, and she's been doing a good job, so shout outs to her. But in instances where like, I don't know, a program gets faulty, if like my laptop starts acting up, if my monitor is like tweaking, I've learned to fix them and just be able to troubleshoot on my own. Like I said, the tech support is me. Sometimes, you know, it takes too long to try to get through to anybody else, and I just gotta figure it out on my own, unless I really can't. Like if I really sat down, I'm like, nah, I don't know what's going on, then I'll try to call, email somebody else. But for the most part, I've been holding it down. Tech support at your service. But it gets so frustrating when technology don't like do its job. What video was it? I think I was relaying like grant opportunities and my camera was dead not banging with me, and I'm like, you got one job, just record. Like it's the only time I'd be like, yo, technology. Last point that was definitely a struggle for my team and I, or I would say my company and I, was virtual team building. We've had instances where, as you guys saw, we would meet up in person, we had retreats with each other, and we were able to use those moments to connect. However, those happen once, maybe twice a year. Any other time, everything is virtual. So we're getting to know each other, grow with each other, understand each other and our backgrounds and like how we work and how we operate, but all virtually. And like I said, having in-person interaction and like that, I don't know, just things click better and that energy in person versus virtual, like that can be so challenging, and it was very challenging for us. However, we definitely take advantage of our in-person gatherings. We make sure to just have more connecting meetings outside of just work. For example, my company, we use every other Monday just to generally check in with each other, like an all staff meeting to just say like, hey, what's good? What's on your mind? Everything okay? Remember, we're humans. We're gonna put our hearts and our sanity and our health first. Then let's proceed with work. Virtual team building can get difficult, but everybody has to be intentional about building and growing together. So, you know, schedule like a little mocktail session. Maybe y'all playing like, I don't know, virtual Jeopardy or bingo or something. Whatever it is, do some team building and make sure that everyone can be actively engaged, because engagement in person is already hard. So virtual is like a whole other challenge. With all that being said, would I suggest becoming a fully remote project manager?
Survey says
Absolutely. However, that is if and only if you are stepping into that role with balance. What I mean by this is that you are stepping into this role 100% prepared to be a remote worker. That's physically, professionally, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, psychologically, all the leads. I was fortunate enough where my job set me up with a laptop. They gave me a printer. They like supplied me with, paper, ink, a monitor, anything else that I may need to really be comfortable and set set up my workspace accordingly. And because of, I would say COVID honestly has gotten us really used to remote work. But prior to my new job, I was already like accustomed to how I would operate as a remote worker. And I set up my space accordingly. I set up my mind accordingly. I made sure to have my schedule structured in a way that would remind me to, like, you know, have balance and to pull back from the work day, to make sure I ate, to make sure I slept, to make sure I took breaks from the screen, and make sure I had reading sessions, all that stuff. So unless you are going to take the time to make sure that you structure it, that you have life work balance, and that you are able to not succumb to the cons that comes with remote work, then I would suggest, yes, be a remote worker. It's the best decision I could have ever made. But when I wasn't aware of the cons that I shared with you guys and I allowed them to kind of take over, I suffered a lot. But now I could say I got much better structure. I've learned from my mistakes, and being a remote project manager is the greatest shit in the world. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I love it so much. I love it so much. That's it. You guys made it to the end of the video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Drop your thoughts, your questions, your experiences all in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation flowing. I love hearing from you guys. It pumps me up. Until next time, bye y'all.